What's going on, everybody? I'm Carson, and welcome back to the Geek XP. Well, it's time, everybody. It's time to face Ganon. Finally. This game has been really good, but for this last bit, I just wanted to kind of like talk over the boss fight and everything, so let's get right into it here. So I had to get through all of Hyrule Castle and reach the very top here, and I gotta help Zelda out. And I'm not sure where she is. It looks like she's in that pod up there, and I'm sure that's where Ganon is too. Oh, shit. So he's coming out. And he's like this weird conglomeration of like Guardian bits and stuff like that. So we're going down to the boss chamber where there's plenty of room to fight and all that. Works out perfectly. So something I immediately noticed was he has some of the Blight's powers. I think he might have all their powers, but in my fight here, I only get to really see the Fire Blight's powers, I believe, and that's it. But I think I've seen other gameplay videos of where he uses like some of the Wind's Blight's powers and stuff. I'm not totally sure on all that though. But he is most formidable looking, and that's the whole thing with this fight is he's very cool looking, but this fight actually isn't that hard, and that's something that I'm a little bit disappointed in. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you disagree, but this is really awesome right here. This is cool. Visually, this is amazing. Yep. And this is what happens when you get all the Divine Beasts and you purify them. They attack Ganon here and help you out. It's really nice. I kind of want to do another playthrough where I don't get any of them though. And I think what happens is you have to fight all the Blights before you fight Ganon, which is super hard. But yep. These are all the people I helped out. Boom. So cool. Ganon's like, what? And he just gets like wrecked. And I'm like, when I first played this and stuff, I was like, wow, how much of his life's gonna go? And it takes half his life away right there. And I was like, alright, that's cool, I guess. I imagine the fight would be much longer if, you know, he had his full health bar and stuff. Maybe I would see more phases of his fight and stuff. Maybe that's the one that's why I only saw like part of his phases is like just the Fire Blight and that's it. I don't know though. Got my Master Sword. I've got my final look. I have the Diamond Circlet as well, which protects me against Guardian damage, which I'm guessing Ganon is part Guardian right now. Alright, so the key to beating Ganon is basically having the fundamentals of perfect shielding down. And that's something the game doesn't directly teach you very well. It's something you kind of have to pick up yourself and practice. So if you don't know how to perfect shield in this, you're going to be in a real bad way. But if you've practiced that enough and gotten the timing down, you're going to be fine. So that's something that I've practiced a lot, and I think in this fight I might only get hit once where I mess it up. But, yeah. If you stay on the move, you're perfectly fine, and that's what I'm saying. It's going to be easy for people that have perfect shield down. If you don't have that down, it's going to be a very hard fight. But if you've figured that out, it's going to be super easy. And as long as you stay on the move, you're not going to get hit. So just get ready for the perfect shield. Boom. And I always try and get a Guardian arrow in on that. I guess Ancient Arrow is what they're called. To get a little extra damage in there real quick. A headshot. Just to speed it up. It's not even that hard to dodge that beam either. So you can just go up there and attack him directly. And he uses his fire attack. It's super easy to dodge. And that's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit is I think this game would have been perfect if they had traditional dungeons and bosses in this game. We got the Divine Beasts and the Blights to fight, and they were fine. I really like the shrines in this game, which are like mini dungeon experiences, but I wanted main temples or like dungeons, like themed, like a forest temple, a fire temple. That kind of stuff is so cool, and I think that's what Zelda games are known best for, and I think that's what they do the best. So I was kind of disappointed that they weren't in this game at the end when I finally finished the game. This is, again, like, visually, this is amazing looking, I think, but as a gameplay experience, I really don't find it super compelling, and that is honestly probably my biggest problem with this game. I might be sounding really nitpicky right now, but just as a Zelda fan, I just gotta let you guys know what I like about Zelda games, and the traditional dungeons is exactly what I love. And I did not get that experience in this game. You could argue that the open world was your dungeon experience, and the open world is probably the best open world I've ever played. I'll say that. That's probably this game's strongest thing. The open world is definitely amazing. And honestly, I can't imagine playing another open world game after playing this game. It's that good. But yeah, as you can see, okay, there I got hit, my one hit. And it took off a decent amount of hearts. But then, you know, sit back right up and take care of him. So it wasn't really that bad. Again, I was pretty prepared for this fight, but again, like, if you have the perfect shielding down, it's gonna be pretty simple. And I just think back to all the other Ganon fights that I've done in the past, and there've been multiple phases, and I think in this you only really get 2 phases. And I was like, oh man, I expected more. I kind of wish you could fight Ganondorf, which is his humanoid form. I was hoping we'd get that because they slightly allude to that from one of the characters in this game, but we never get to see that at all. It's like he gave up on that form though and just became this like essence of evil, which is directly tied to Demise from Skyward Sword, which is the origin of all evil in the Zelda universe. So, yep, Ganon, his guardian form is defeated, and he's gonna kind of escape out into the world real quick, and that's where the second phase is gonna start. And I'm sorry guys, but if you're watching this, you obviously probably played this part before, but I have to say, this is definitely one of the weaker parts of this game, is this second phase Ganon fight. And that's so unfortunate because it's the final boss. This fight should be amazing. And it's just so underwhelming in my opinion. Like, let me know guys if you disagree with me with that in the comment section below, but it's just super, it's cool to see like the pig form, and it's super like epic, I guess. I hate using that word, but it is. In scale, it's huge, but just the way you take him down is so boring, in my opinion.
I entrust you with the bow of light, a powerful weapon in the face of evil. Link, you may not yet be at a point where you have fully recovered your power, or all of your...
And yes, I have recovered all my memories, so I know what's going on. That last memory in particular was insanely like sad and stuff, and that's one of the strong points of this game. Is the story, I think, is pretty solid. All right, bow of light. This is the best bow in the game, and that 100 number there, it will break. So if you fire 100 arrows, the bow will break. That's, I believe, what that number means. So that's a lot of arrows, and you don't use arrows either when you use this. It's just when you equip it, it shoots light arrows. And it's really powerful. And we gotta hit the glowing areas, just like Zelda said right there. And, you know, it takes some marksmanship, like skill, I guess, but it's just not that hard, which is really unfortunate to me. I feel like the world bosses in this game, like the Lionels, are harder than the final boss. Which to me just doesn't really make much sense, I guess. For replayability, it's nice, I guess, but I don't know, for story, I feel like this should be the hardest experience in the game right now, the final boss. Just my opinion, of course, though, guys. Gosh, if I had to say, like, when we get another Zelda game, I hope they can retain this style, this art form, because it's really nice. It's really nice to look at, and I think something that maybe would be 1080p in the future, that would be awesome. I don't know if the Switch will ever be able to do that. But honestly, there's a lot of questions coming out, like saying, can we ever go back to the original Zelda? Like the formula that we had before. And I say a lot of things we don't want to go back to, like the compass and the dungeon map, like doing that whole thing in original Zelda games. That's very old and I think needs to go. I like the format of the open world or open air, like Nintendo likes to say. That should definitely stay. And I like the experience of the shrines. But as I was saying before, the themed dungeons need to come back. So we're going to get him under the belly real quick, and that'll activate the final target. And then I get stuck, I guess, on his hitbox here. It's kind of strange. Almost got stomped there. So I'm going to use the Gust to get up there and get that final eye. There we go. And for this finals cutscene, guys, I'm going to be perfectly quiet so you guys can just, like, watch it.
I've been keeping watch over you all this time. I've witnessed your struggles to return to us, as well as your trials in battle. I always thought, no, I always believed that you would find a way to defeat Ganon. I never lost faith in you over these many years. Thank you, Link. The hero of Hyrule. May I ask, do you really remember me?